Coming up on this month's edition of Inside COD, we sit down with B. Bishop, editor-in-chief of the Courier newspaper, and give you updates on some major changes that will be happening on campus.
There's a new police chief at the COD page. We'll be hearing what new safety plans are for the campus.
Learn how you can follow your music dreams at Jerry Evans School of Music in downtown Wheaton. All that and much more coming up right now. Hello and welcome to this episode of Inside COD. I'm your host, Bianna Yeager.
And I'm Emmanuel Mock. We are here with B. Bishop, the editor-in-chief of the Courier newspaper. Welcome, B.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So glad you're here. So the news on campus is that our COD president, Brian Caputo, is retiring. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yes, so Brian Caputo announced that he was retiring sometime just before the end of winter break and the start of the semester. He's going to be retiring June 30th of this year. He has been the COD president for, I believe, the past 5, maybe 6 years. Yes, so currently we are still looking for a replacement for him, as well as the president that we want in the interim. But yes, he will be the 4th, I believe, president within the past 10 years. Yeah. He's
Nice.
currently talking about stepping away, taking time for family.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Cool, and speaking on that note, do you know who will be the interim president for the time being?
As of right now, there is no news about who the interim president will be. The Board of Trustees is currently still looking into that. I know that some of the trustees recently went to a trustee conference, I suppose it was, and some of the trustees attended a session on how to look for a president. So there's definitely steps being taken to look for the interim president as well as the replacement president afterwards. But so far there has been no news.
Excellent. And so there's some interesting conversations surrounding the new construction and the Student Service Center. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yes. So currently the bottom sort of level of the Student Service Center is under renovation. This has affected a few different clubs. Student Life has moved from their office right across the hall to the Student Life Lounge, which is a little different, and also that renders the Student Life Lounge, unfortunately, unusable for the time. A few other clubs have moved offices. I know for a fact, the newspaper as well as Prairie Light Review have moved up to a different 3rd floor on the BIC, which is a little bit of a walk, but nothing too crazy. Yes, I believe it's scheduled to take about 18 months to about 2 years, depending on how things sort of progress. Yeah, they're just sort of looking to expand some spaces and add some more storage stuff.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit more about what's coming from the new construction?
Yeah, so I know, I believe they're looking at a new sort of multicultural center, I believe. They're adding that to there. I know there's some shifting of offices. From the newspaper side, I know we're going to be a little closer to a few other people. We're getting a slightly bigger office, as well as sharing some storage with some other clubs. Yeah, it's just sort of some moving around and some expanding and shifting things out.
Sure. So last semester, there was a real big stir about the blue line flag that was put up in the Homeland Security building.
Was.
Are there any updates about that or anything you want to tell?
Yeah, so how that whole situation sort of played out was there was some complaints brought up by some community members to a professor on campus, and that it was a criminal injustice professor. And he reached out to sort of, the dean of that area, and he was like, we should have a conversation about it. And from there, it sort of escalated. To my knowledge, there was some sort of, doxing on that side. That professor was, unfortunately, receiving some threats. I don't know the full extent of those. So it just sort of all tumbled into one big hot mess, as it typically does. As of updates, I believe, I know the president, Dr. Caputo, set out a research team to just sort of, gather, what students think about it, what faculty think about it, general thoughts, what actions the college should take. And the sort of census from it was, the flag being displayed, if it's in a public space, it has to be state recognized. If it's not in a public space, such as like an office or things like that, there's not really any sort of encroachment from the college on that front. As far as I know, one of the main talking points was there was a mural set up with the Blue Line flag displayed. I believe it was in one of the classrooms to a fallen officer. That has been left alone because it is, honoring as what the college says. So for the time being, it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of change. But, who's to say in a few years we won't be revisiting this topic again.
I'd like to thank B. Bishop for being here with us today. And remember, for more news about the college, visit their website at codcourier.org. And coming up next, we introduce you to the new chief of police at the college.
And later, we're going to introduce you to the director of Jerry Evans School of Music. But first, let's take a look at your COD calendar of events.
On March 6th, Chris Sancombe will be featured in the Visiting Artist Series at the college. Chris will be giving a presentation at the Mac Arts Center from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. This event is free and open to the public to attend. College Theater presents The Good Kids. It's a show about the very real aftermath of an assault at a school. Adult themes and language, so parents be advised. Shows are March 7th, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., Thursdays through Saturdays at 8 p.m., and Sundays at 3 p.m. Tickets are $14 per student and $16 for non-students. And on Sunday, March 10th, the Mac Arts Center will be presenting an International Guitar Night from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. in the Belushi Performance Hall. Come and experience a variety of guitar music. Tickets are $48 to $58 to purchase.
With more than 20 years of experience at the COD Police Department, Kent Musterman has a new role as Chief of Police at the college. Congratulations and thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much.
So you really do have a storied career here at COD when it comes to law enforcement. Can you tell us where you started?
Yeah, I actually started here as a student when I was 18 years old in the criminal justice program, and one day I had the opportunity in a mailer that was sent to my house to work at the COD Police Department, which I didn't know much about at the time, and had the opportunity to kind of get a taste of law enforcement in the role of a student community service officer, which is a program that we still have today, but it was really, really beneficial for me at that period in my life and kind of gave me a taste of what the career was like.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so what would you like the COD community to know about the campus police department?
I think, excuse me, first of all, we're a professional police department. We're a 24/7, 365 law enforcement agency. We're a full-service law enforcement agency. We do all the things any other municipal agency would do. We're dedicated to our community. We're dedicated to making the most positive impact on our community that we possibly can. We are highly trained. We take a lot of pride in what we do and how we contribute to our community.
Sure. And as the new chief of police, what type of changes do you think you might make to some of the existing plans or programs that are going on campus?
I have a pretty ambitious strategic long-range plan. It really focuses on 4 different areas. One is community trust. We want to enhance our relationships with the community. I think we have a great reputation at the college, but we want to build on that. We want to optimize the safety at the college, so looking at ways we can enhance public safety through technology or through some of our own operations. And then enhancing the way that we train. We do a lot of training, but optimizing the way we train so that we're the most high-speed police department we can possibly be for our community. And then lastly, optimizing our operations, looking at new ways, new innovative things that we can implement to be better, to make our operations better, to better serve the community, to make the most positive impact we possibly can at the college.
That sounds great. Now, College of DuPage really, in all intent and purpose, is a pretty safe campus and community. But what are some of the safety messages you would send to students, faculty, or anybody visiting the campus?
We have a number of different safety programs. We have call boxes throughout the college. We have over 900 closed-circuit television cameras that are almost constantly monitored. We have an application called the Everbridge app that is a safety app that students, faculty, staff can download on their smartphones that have all sorts of features related to safety. And maybe most importantly, and one thing I didn't mention earlier, was that we have a myriad of outreach classes, we call them, designed to, again, create new partnerships, new relationships, but also to enhance the preparedness of our community. So we offer classes like situational awareness and crisis intervention and active violence preparedness, and classes on fraud awareness and prevention, a whole gamut of classes that have been very well received that I think offer a lot of value to the college community. So that's a great thing that we have.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Congratulations again on your new role here at COD, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And for more information on COD safety and the police here at the College of DuPage, visit their website at cod.edu. And if you want more information, you can find them on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And coming up next, we introduce you to the Jerry Evans Music School in Wheaton. But first, here's a look at your community calendar of events.
The St. Patrick's Day Parade is coming up on Sunday, March 9th, starting at 10 a.m. in downtown Naperville. Enjoy a celebratory time with friends and family to get in the St. Patrick's Day spirit. Every Monday night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., Church Street Brewing Company hosts a free trivia night where you can enjoy a fun night with friends. Make sure to check it out for their next one on Monday, March 11th, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the Wheaton Park District presents an egg scavenger hunt Friday, March 15th and Saturday, March 16th at the Lincoln Marsh. Get you and your family ready for Easter with this fun event. Tickets are $14 for Wheaton residents and $18 for non-Wheaton residents, ages 0 through 17. Children must be accompanied by a non-paying adult.
Joining us now is Jerry from Jerry Evans School of Music to discuss how you can achieve your music goals at his school. Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Bianna. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure to have you. So tell us, what kinds of instruments can people enjoy at your school, and what are the main classes that you teach there?
So our bread and butter as a music school is going to be in private lessons. We do have some group classes, but we have hundreds of students that come through our doors every week just for private lessons. So our big picture goal is to impact our community. And so some people ask us, hey Jerry, what style or what instruments do you want? And my answer to them is actually yes, everything. So we want to have the best of the rock world, the best of the classical world, best of the jazz world, all under one roof, and that also includes anything when it comes to instruments. So piano, guitar, bass, drums, voice lessons, we can do some banjo, we can brass, woodwinds, strings, you name it. We really want to cover the whole gamut and be a full-service music school for the whole community.
What advice would you give to a young person starting off learning an instrument?
I think the first thing I would say is that don't get tricked by the misnomer that says that only some people can learn music. That's actually just not true. Everyone has the ability, at least at a basic capacity, to learn an instrument, to play music, and just have a good time. And so make sure you know you can play an instrument. And then secondly, be diligent to try to see if you can find the instrument that interests you the most. And so if the instrument that interests you the most isn't the one that maybe your brother and sisters might play, or your parents played, or your grandparents played, that's okay. Do what you're passionate about, and if you get passionate and engaged in the instrument that you really like, that's going to be the best situation for you. And that's really something that we generally preach to our students so that they can be successful and enjoy themselves. And generally, if they become passionate and they enjoy an instrument for a while, they tend to start something else later on. They add another instrument and add another instrument just because they're enjoying themselves and having a good time. So be confident, know you can learn an instrument, and focus on what you're passionate about.
That's really amazing. And then I'd like to ask, you said that students may move on to a second instrument. Do you find that people typically can do that? And is it very easy to transition into a different instrument once you've learned one?
It's definitely easier because, of course, when you learn an instrument, it's going to affect how often you're using your brain in specific ways. And so if you start one instrument, sure, going from tuba to violin can be a tougher transition because you're going to be doing things that are different physically. Whereas going from guitar to bass guitar is an easier transition. But still, regardless, because of the way we use our brains when we're playing musical instruments and when we're practicing or when we're playing in a group, that does make it a lot easier to start something else in the future. So if you start one instrument and you're committed to that, I wouldn't be shocked if you're doing something else 20 years down the road too.
That's really fantastic.
Yeah.
And so lastly, what can people expect when they come to your school? Like what would they expect from classes?
Yeah, so what they can expect from our school is basically this. Our big picture vision and mission is that we want to impact the community. We want to be a high caliber, excellent place of music instruction that impacts our community as well as creates a musical culture in our community. And under that umbrella, we do give music lessons, and that's the bread and butter of how we use our time. And so when people come to us, we want them to know that we want them to engage with music, be connected to it, be with an instructor that they really enjoy being around, and also play the instrument that they love so that every week and every day when they come home from lessons, they go, you know what, I'm enjoying this. This isn't just some sort of exercise. I don't feel like I'm necessarily forced to do this, but I'm engaging with this and enjoying this, and that's really what we're focused on. We want students to be able to exceed their expectations and accomplish their passions and dreams while they're with us.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Look, Jerry, thank you so much for spending time with us today and introducing our audience to the Jerry Evans School of Music.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely great to be here. Thank you again.
And for more information about Jerry Evans School of Music, visit their website at jeschoolofmusic.com and at Jerry Evans School of Music on all of the major social media sites. Thanks for joining us for this month's Inside COD. We leave you now with images from the college's Black History Month celebrations. We'll see you back here next month.
Ole, 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 feeling hot, hot, hot. Don't say no. Walk, no. Come on, line me up yourself. Hey, irate. We feel irate. Feel. How you feeling out here? How you feeling hot, hot, hot? Come on. How you feeling?